here we are. We're going to explain how to create your own model to discern between different types of speech. And this is just my idea. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's any good. I know that the model I created needs some refinement, but I just wanted to put this out there and see if anybody else finds it useful. So natively, this tool called Create ML comes with your Mac. You don't have to do anything. It has predetermined modes or functions or types of app you can create. So it's super user friendly, really straightforward, minimal coding. So the first thing we're going to do is launch it. When this window pops up, you're just going to say cancel. And you're going to say here, create ML, new project. And I get too close to the screen, so that's just the way I do it. Sound classifier. We go to next. And also I already have all the audio clips I'll need for this project downloaded in my machine in the right folder structure. I'm going to say sample audio classifier AC. And then here's my name. You guys should know my name. And then that's it. I'm going to put here testing for video. That's that. And then I guess I'm going to save it there. And this is the cool part. So it's super straightforward, this interface. We're going to upload our training data. Then there's a validation part that you can do if you want to. I'm not super certain on the why behind why this is needed. And then there's the testing data. This part is important. And now let's go to first, before doing anything, explain the ethos of my project. The model I created, and then I'm going to replicate here, is meant to train this AI to discern between political and non-political speech. Why? I think that on social media, we see a lot of things, right? We see everything. I think one of the skills that people have that have been exposed to political speech, that are well-versed in the topic, or that seek information on the topic, on politics in general, culture as it relates to politics more broadly, the culture wars, the political sphere of life that transcends just talking about policy, and that includes talks about, for example, climate change, gender dysphoria, education, right? All of these topics are usually shown on social media. And I think there are two ways of talking about a topic. You can simply describe, oh, there's this mental health problem that we are facing as a society called gender dysphoria. There are mental health issues rising amongst teenagers. Global warming is an impending catastrophe for humanity, right? You can talk about them in a very matter-of-fact way, as a in a descriptive way, the way a Wikipedia article would talk about them. Or you could present those topics, present that kind of rhetoric under a certain lens. And it is my opinion that in most cases, topics that are very politically relevant, and again, when I meant political, I don't mean necessarily talking about who's going to be president, who runs Congress, and then members of the House, or vote no, Prop 65. Like, I am not talking about that strictly. Of course, those are all political topics, but those are too easy to discern. You don't need an AI. You don't need a machine learning project model to tell you that those are political topics. But what is harder is to understand in regular speech, everyday speech, what parts are actually political. And what I mean with political is that the topic is presented a certain light and aiming to shape opinion. Because it is extremely rare that things are just thrown out there, completely neutral and free of bias, right? Most times that we see a topic being discussed or even presented on social media, it has a very clear objective, and it is to shape opinion. Sometimes, if you could even call it, just instill curiosity for a topic. But my thesis is that it is usually biased, right? There's no neutrality in social media. As there's no neutrality in the news anymore, there's not neutrality in the media like we once thought there was, or how once we wish there was, or how once the media actually intended there to be. I think that's gone, right? But I think that a lot of people, especially young people, consume all of this and don't stop to think, is this political? Is this being served to me in the hopes that I change my mind drastically or little by little about X topic? Or is this just a funny thing? Is this just a funny clip, a comedian? Is this an ad? And I think people are really good at knowing what is an ad. What is an influencer saying, oh, you guys have all been asking me, how do I have my skin so beautiful and my eyelashes? Like, no, nobody has asked you. It's an ad because they are paying you to say these things. I think we and young people are better at that. I'm not sure that we and that young people are so good at detecting political speech. So that is the ethos of this project. I don't know if this is useful, and I haven't fully processed how am I going to make this available for it to be useful. Like, the mechanics of how this would be used are still up in the air, but I'm putting it out there for the world to know. The way I trained it is very, very particular to this definition of political that I just talked about. This was when Rogan was talking about how somebody, was this Weinstein guy? Somebody was banned, or I don't know what YouTube does, canceled or demonetized for talking about the lab leak theory, or I don't know, some topic regarding COVID-19 that later was widely accepted by the government, by a scientific community. And so that is an example of, yeah, it's just a clip of a podcast, but this was heavily, intrinsically political content aimed to shape opinion, to, if not tell you how to think, put that little seed of curiosity and doubt and so and then Rogan has been very clear about how he feels about this topic, but just like that one, I have other clips in there. For example, I have a clip about a woman who detransitioned, right? So she's talking about her experience, but the way she's talking about her experience and the context was, I believed, a source of political speech, because it was meant to shape your opinion about this topic. So the way I trained it was difficult to find enough clips for the non-political side. It was very easy because I just put just plain funny things, plain people talking about shoes and coffee and things that are really not aiming to change your opinion about things that affect the political life of a country or the world. I can probably, if needed, be more explicit with that. I'll show some examples, but the relevant part for this is how to add it to the model, how to train it. So here on training data, you can say here choose, or you can add it here. I created a folder for this, which I believed was the easiest, cleanest way to do it. So I created a folder called Create ML Audio Project. So in that folder, there are two subfolders, non-political and political. So that format is the format that you need to have it in. So just a main folder with the two folders of the A and B variations that you want to train your model to detect. And how I got the data, that is a little bit, harder. That was the one time consuming part of this project was getting these audio files. It was relatively easy once I found a command line approach to converting MP4s into MP3s. So this was all done in bulk. The other time consuming part was to go through my feed and download, and then transfer it over to my computer. Was very quick with AirDrop, but just identifying the right kind of clip to feed my model, that was probably the more time consuming part. Then putting them here and then converting, that was easy. And I'll talk about that conversion later. But just so you know, these all started, all of those clips that are in these individual folders were all Instagram MP4 downloads. And then I converted them to MP3 And now we're here. If you see, this is one of the issues with this model. Again, as I said, this is a work in progress. There are more for type A than type B, and that's an issue. We should have the same number, but we're gonna run with this for now for purposes of this video. And so we're going to select that folder, which has the two subfolders clearly labeled. And all throughout, you have to use these same labels. So if you capitalize that, then, so just use the same naming convention, because you're going to need another folder called test. And that is going to need to have these same two subfolders. So here we go. And then you can do a couple checks, like ensure that this is the right number. There's two variations. This is all very straightforward. And then here on the testing data, I'm going to find, I created a folder for this purpose. I just named it a test so that it will be up there. And loading, and it's a smaller subset. But I think, honestly, that for this sample, I have to, again, look into the numbers. But if I'm using 34 as like my real data, 16 as testing data, doesn't seem, I feel like it should be fewer. And in this case, I did have the same number. I think I have 8 for non-political and 8 for political, 8 clips of each so that it is evenly distributed, but I still need more here on the core data. And then there's this validation part. We're going to skip for now. I don't want to do that. You would need to have yet another folder called validation clips, and then also split into political and non-political. And I, for now, don't have time for that. But once you do that, you just have to say, drain, and it's remarkably quick. It is going to give you a score here of see, it's still doing it, and then it's just training, how much like the training, validation, testing. It gives me a 0 on validation because we didn't do that part, and then testing. This is the percentage. This is pretty low. It means that the test was successful in 79% of cases, which is too fucking low, right? If you give me those odds for anything, I won't bet on that, right? Like we need like in the upper 90s. And same with in the training. What this tells me is I need more data. I need more clips, and I'll get them. Just for now, I just wanted to show the process of how to execute this, how to get it done, and how easy it is. Like now, that's it. So now you go to see these percentages, not good enough, right? You need in the high 90s for this to be, even if it's for, my own definition, that what I'm trying to test and to detect for, it has to be higher, right? So I'm not going to, sure, my definition of political is pretty nuanced in the way that I explained, but that doesn't give me the freedom to accept these levels of accuracy. I need higher. That means I need a more diverse data set, more clips, more cases, and then include all those fringe cases that might be useful to train the model. So as it is usually the case with machine learning, the more the better. And then here in preview, I love this part because then you can talk and it's going to tell me if what I'm talking about is political. So here you're going to click on live preview, and I'm going to talk about something. My favorite food is pizza. I love pizza. I love pizza with veggies. I love pizza with pepperoni, with just cheese, a bunch of cheese, different types of cheese, and maybe a little bit of hot sauce. I do not really like ranch. Ranch is not for me, but I love a hot sauce. I love spicy and sweet things in pizza. Anchovy has never been my thing, but I love olives with green peppers. And I also love Costco pizza. I know this is might be an unpopular opinion, but I love Costco, and I love Costco pizza. I love frozen pizza. I know that it's full of microplastics and nanoplastics, but yeah, in general, I love pizza. I would love to know how to make it, but I haven't really. Oh no, I did make pizza once. I forgot. It was pretty good too. Maybe I should do it again. Okay, that's the end. And so here it is. It is political 95% confidence. What the is it? Because I started to talk about Costco? Why is this political? I'm just talking about pizza. Okay. We're gonna try this again. Oh, what can I talk about? This is not maybe makeup. Today I didn't really do too much makeup. I put on my face oil and then moisturizer, and after that I put a tiny bit of powder on my eyelid, this white powder that I like to brighten my eyes, and some highlighter, and I also put a lip gloss on. I did a tiny bit of black eyeliner on my under eyelid, and then a little bit of this teal one on my upper eyelid. Okay, this is better. I don't know. Can I talk about... I'm gonna talk about my dog. I have a dog named Mikey. She is a border collie and she is 10 years old. I love her. Okay, this makes more sense. It's not political. I'm talking about a dog. Donald Trump is the 46th president of the United States. Hey Google, is Donald Trump the 46th president?
According to Wikipedia, Donald John Trump, born June 14, 1946, is an American politician, media personality, and businessman who has served as the 47th President of the United States since January 20th, 2025. A member of the Republican
Okay.
Party,
Hey Google, stop.
he served as the
Oh.
45th President from 2016
Hey Google,
to 2021.
stop. Okay, delete. He's the 47th. So 45 and 47. Now I won't remember. 46 was fine. Okay. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, yeah. Yes. But he had two terms, but it was 46. Okay. This makes sense. But anyway, this is just how you test it. I'm going to go put this. I'm going to go and go through with improving my model. And then I'm going to put this as it is on GitHub and see who wants it and maybe does something cool with it. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching.